Hello everyone, hope you all are very well. Today I am starting a new session on impotence and sterility. So let's begin with today's session. First, what is impotence? Impotence is inability of a person to perform sexual intercourse. It is inability of a person to perform sexual intercourse or to take part in the coitus. What is sterility? Sterility term is used for both males and females. For a male, sterility is the inability of a person to procreate or inability of a person to impregnate the woman. That is sterility on the part of a male. Sterility on the part of the female is inability to be pregnant, inability to conceive, right? That is sterility on the part of the female. Then what is fertility? Fertility is the ability of a person to procreate or ability of a person to conceive. That is fertility. And what is frigidity? Frigidity term is more used for the females. It is failure on the part of the female to start the sexual arousal pattern and also to maintain it. So frigidity is for the female who fails to arouse and maintain the sexual arousal pattern, right? That is called frigidity. Now, why we require to study the impotence and sterility? Why we should know about it? In various civil and criminal cases, there arises a question of impotence and sterility in the court of law, and that's why we should know about it. Let's first discuss the civil cases in which there is question of the impotence and sterility arises in the court of law. First condition is nullity of marriage. Nullity means cancellation. Marriage રદ બાતલ કહેવાય, marriage થયા જ નથી એવું કહેવાય. That is the nullity of marriage. Divorce. To get divorce also, the either spouse can sue the other spouse in the court of law to get the divorce on the ground of the impotence or sterility. Then disputed paternity and legitimacy. Whenever who is the father of the child is not clear, that is called paternity. So when the paternity is disputed, it is doubtful, at that time the question of the impotence and sterility arises. For example, suppose the wife brings a child or wife becomes pregnant. The husband may argue in the court of law that I am impotent, so how can my wife be pregnant? That is disputed paternity. This child is not mine. Disputed paternity. And that's why that child is also not legitimate. Right? So whenever such issue is there, then the question of the impotence or sterility arises in the court of law. Then suits for adoption. The husband may demand for adopting the child on the ground of the impotence or sterility. Even the wife can demand it on the ground of the sterility. Because they are not able to have their own children, they can go for the adoption. Right? Claims for damages for loss of sexual function due to the assault or accident. Suppose some person is assaulted or the person meets with some accident, and out of that incident the person loses sexual function. So he may demand the damages. He may need compensation out of these damages. So for these civil cases, there is a question of impotence and sterility in the court of law. So court will send the concerned person to the medical officer for the examination, whether the person is actually impotent or sterile. And that's why we should understand these cases, and also we should know how this examination is being done. Right? Now we come to the criminal cases. In certain criminal cases also, the question of the impotence and sterility arises. For example, impotence as the self-defense. Suppose any person is accused of the adultery. What is adultery? Adultery means to have illegal relation with the person of the opposite sex. And to constitute, to form adultery, sexual relations are must, physical relations are must. Without sexual or physical relations, adultery will not form. So suppose if any person is accused of adultery, he may for the self-defense argue in the court of law that I am impotent. How can I have such kind of relation? Same way, if the person is accused of any sexual offense like rape, this person is guilty of the rape or accused of the rape, then also for the self-defense, person may argue in the court that he is impotent. How can he commit rape? So at that time, such accused person is sent to the medical officer, to the doctor for his physical examination, whether he is actually impotent or not. Right? So impotence can be considered as the self-defense. So at that time, that person's physical examination is must. Sometimes the sterile woman puts forward a supposititious child. Supposititious means imaginary. He will bring that child to claim the property of the husband. Actually the woman is sterile. Her sterility is very known. But still she comes with a child. She brings a child and claims to be having that child of her own. It is just to get the property. So at that time also the question of the impotence or sterility may arise. Right? Now, how the examination is done? Examination in case of the impotence. Examination should be undertaken only when asked by the court or police. In medical legal cases, any doctor by himself cannot examine any person for the impotence. He must get written order from the court or police to have such examination. Only then and then he can do such examination. He can conduct such examination. Right? Informed consent must be obtained before starting the physical medical examination. The concerned person should be informed first why the examination is carried out, what will be the outcome of the examination, right? Everything should be explained to the person, and then after understanding the whole process, the consent of the person should be taken, and consent should be taken in advance before starting the examination. Complete medical examination including CNS should be carried out. Examination of CNS is very important. It helps in the detection of the impotence. So we have to go for the complete medical examination of a person. We have to put more emphasis on the examination of CNS. History of previous illness should be obtained. It should be obtained first from the male, from that concerned person, and these history should specially include nervous and mental condition of the person and his sexual experience. What was or how was his past sexual history, past sexual experience. It should be known before the actual examination is started. The private part should be examined for their development, sensation, injury or malformation. The external genitals, they should be examined for their development, overall development, and also for the sensation. If any injury is there, evidence of the injury should be noted, and if there is any malformation in any part, it should be observed. Now, when a person can demand for nullity of marriage or divorce? Under Section 3 of the Bombay Hindu Divorce Act 1947, this act says that either spouse can be sued for nullity of marriage or divorce only if impotence is existing since before marriage. The person is impotent since before marriage. Suppose the wife goes in the court of law and demand for nullity of marriage. So, she may argue in the court of law that her husband is impotent since before her marriage. But this matter was hidden, it was not told to us. I was unaware about it. So I was cheated, a kind of feeling, right? And so she demands for nullity of marriage. So impotence should not occur after marriage. Impotence occurring after marriage is not the ground for nullity of marriage. The woman, the wife, cannot demand for nullity of marriage or divorce if impotence occurs, impotence develops after marriage. So the first condition is it must be existing since before marriage. Second condition, it must be permanent. Temporary impotence again is not the ground for nullity of marriage or divorce. So impotence must be permanent. So it is going to affect the sexual life of the woman lifelong when the impotence is permanent. And the third condition, it is incurable by any surgery. Even though the person wishes to undergo operation to remove impotence, to cure impotence, it cannot be removed. It persists. So it is incurable by any surgery, and also it is irremediable. Irremediable means it is not curable by any medicine. When these three conditions are fulfilled, then and then only either spouse can demand for nullity of marriage or divorce in the court of law, right? In the divorce suit, the potency must be ascertained in relation to the married partner only. For example, this happens sometimes. The person is forcefully married. Person was compelled to marry a particular woman. Suppose the husband is a good looking, handsome guy, and the wife is very ugly looking. But due to some reason, the male was compelled to marry that ugly woman. So this person is not happy with his marriage, right? So whenever he goes in front of the wife, because the wife is ugly looking, the person does not like it. The person may not have desire to have sexual relation. He will not have sexual excitement because the married partner is not liked by the person, right? So he will develop impotence against the wife. But whenever he goes to some other woman whom that person likes, he may not have such impotence. He can successfully have sexual relation with that woman. But these means that the person is impotent or not. The law says that the potency of the person should be considered, should be ascertained only in terms of the married partner. એની વાઇફ સાથે એના રિલેશન કેવા છે એના પ્રમાણે જ તમે ઓપિનિયન આપી શકો કે ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ છે કે નહીં. બીજી કોઈ પણ થર્ડ વુમન સાથે ભલે એના રિલેશન સક્સેસફુલ હોય તો પણ એ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ જ કહેવાય ઇફ હી ઇઝ નોટ સક્સેસફુલ વિથ હિઝ ઓન વાઇફ, right? So potency must be considered in relation to the married partner. In case of male, the external genitals are if normal, their development is normal, sensation is good, no malformation, no evidence of the injury. If everything is found normal externally, it cannot be said that the person is impotent. You cannot give the opinion that the person is impotent when everything is normal. In such case, you should give your opinion in the negative form. Like after the examination, nothing abnormal was found. Sexual history was also satisfactory. So nothing goes in favor of the impotence. So in that way, you should give your opinion. Opinion should be given in the negative form. In case of female, the defect usually lies in the vagina, and that is clearly seen. In most of the cases, whenever the impotence is in the female, you will find the defect in the vagina, and that is clearly seen, right? So that was about the examination of the person in case of impotence. We'll discuss further next time. Okay, thank you.